What's up, mortals? It's Date from the Anime Underworld, and today we are going over chapter 240 of Four Nights of the Apocalypse, titled The Pilgrims. Kind of early for Thanksgiving, isn't it? We got a cover page of the God of War wearing some new threads, a varsity jacket with the Holy Grail and the chapter number on the back of the jacket, his friends in their chibi form on one sleeve, and the title of the series on the other. I'll be honest, this chapter doesn't really do much, but it does set up what's going to be in store for us in the coming chapters. What do I mean by that? Well, let's get into it. We begin chapter 240 with a literal bang because Lancelot decided to blast a hole through the wall in order to use the front entrance, much to the shock and horror of the other Knights of the Apocalypse, as he just casually and angrily struts out, and the other knights are apologizing like crazy to Merlin for blasting a hole in her wall, while the Borson of Gluttony is just nonchalant, saying, no problem. Though, I don't know, if someone blasted a hole through my wall, I would have reacted like this.
Satan's ass crack, enough with the wall shit, we have a door!
The other Knights of the Apocalypse seem very confused as to why Lancelot is acting like this, with Gawain stating, I don't know what's gotten into him, he's usually pretty chill, with Tristan telling Merlin and Arthur, we're off my lady, let's all join hands to end the fight against Camelot, with the Borson of Gluttony and the King of Chaos having satisfied and grateful smiles upon their face. Before they can get the chance to catch up with Lancelot, Gawain asks a very important question to her mother, asking, this quote-unquote Holy Grail you gave us, why is it named that? And Merlin gives the most obvious answer as to why. Well, would any other vessel be worthier of the quote-unquote Holy Grail name? It holds the blood of the noble king who rules over the chaos that births all creation.
Am I a joke to you?
Now it's Merlin's turn to ask the questions. Is that a cause for concern, Gawain? And her daughter points out, well, on our way here, we ran into this weird group. Gawain tells them of the Knights of the Holy Grail, stating, more of Camelot's holy knights, I'm sure, just like before. But if you know anything about them, can you please tell me? And to their shock, Arthur tells them, sorry, but I don't recall a group like that. Which surprises Percival that not even Arthur knows about it, because it's the first time he's ever heard that name. Which is weird because he just created the Holy Grail, so, you know, maybe it's not that Arthur who sent them. They then explain why this is such a cause for concern. Tristan saying, well, they seemed rather familiar with us, oddly enough, and Gawain adding on, that and they're all really strong. But the main threat to this group is that one of them is pretty much even with Lancelot in strength. Yeah, because the rest of you guys, Lancelot's the true main protagonist of this series. And this does make Merlin concerned because she heard a lot about Lancelot's power. So in the meantime, she'll keep an eye out for them. And that's all the Four Knights of the Apocalypse needed to hear as they waved goodbye, with the King of Chaos waving with his only arm with a pretty weird smile on his face like, look at this. Then
He starts monologuing.
As the other Knights of the Apocalypse catch up with Lancelot, Arthur says, the Four Knights of the Apocalypse, taking on the will of the legendary Band of Seven. So kind, so steady, and brave. A group blessed with boundless possibilities, no doubt. With Merlin telling the King of Chaos, that one in particular seems precarious to me, which raises Arthur's concern. If she's talking about Lancelot, yeah, she does have the right to be concerned. Lancelot is incredibly strong. We all know he's the strongest member of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse. And in Legends, Lancelot is a loyal knight to Arthur, but when it comes to Guinevere, Lancelot is the one who backstabs and betrays Arthur. And if Four Knights of the Apocalypse, Lancelot's going to do that, we have yet to know why, since he found out that this Arthur was not this Arthur. As the four knights of the apocalypse leave the Twisted Tower, really wish they could have stayed there just a little bit longer with Merlin. They soon find themselves on some sort of jagged peak. While Merlin's cautious intuition is put aside for now and tells her master, "No, I'm overthinking it. For now, we must keep a careful eye on Kath's movements. Even if he tasted defeat at the hands of the seven deadly sins, his evil is far from perished." The four knights of the apocalypse now find themselves at a pretty oceanic view. There's no ocean or anything, but there's a crap ton of shells. Where the heck did Kath get these? Like, this looks like something you find at the bottom of the ocean. With a flying fish in the background, I wonder if this means that there's going to be some crabs lurking around.
Shiny like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck. Scrub the deck and make it look shiny.
I bet you were expecting Sebastian, right? Well, be glad it didn't subject you to this, Sebastian. Now that they're away from the King of Chaos, now's the time to air out some dirty laundry. With the Prince of Leonis asking, "So, what was the matter earlier, Lancelot? It was kind of out of character for you." But Lancelot tries to act all cool and macho. "Oh, you think it was? What do you even know about me? I mean, Gawain doesn't know anything about you, and Percival barely does, though this was not exactly the right question to ask your assumedly childhood best friend, because the Knight of Pestilence just becomes a freaking Wikipedia page. Like, read all this and tell me that he didn't just copy all this from Lancelot's Wikipedia page. Going on about how he was born in Benwick, a prince, son of King Bon and Elaine. From your mother's side, you inherited fairy powers, and just, wow. Like, he's probably the president of Lancelot's fan club. It gets even more awkward when Tristan says, "And also your favorite toys are." Really? Toys? Your favorite toys? Even Gawain is laughing at the thought of Lancelot playing with action figures. Though I gotta ask, are they toys or toys? Yeah, dealer's choice on that one. This pisses off Lancelot that Tristan knows everything about him to a very concerning level, and yells back, "Stop acting like a damn know-it-all. What, you gonna name the woman I love next?" Who knows, I wouldn't be surprised if Tristan knows freaking mind reading. But oh boy, Lancelot let it slip. He finally gave his friends kind of the answer as to why he was being so moody. It was all because of a girl. And this makes his friends go all giddy like high school girls in sitcoms. They just pile him with questions. "You got a girl you love, Lancelot? Is it true? Is it really true? Who is it? What's her name? What's her favorite color?" Even Gawain in the background is mocking him, acting like you didn't care about women too, you freak. Wait a minute, did you think that Lancelot was gay? Oh my god, maybe she's the one drawing all those Lancelot and Tristan shipping pictures. The god of war just stands there, trying to be cool, while his friends are in full, I guess, nerd obsession mode. They are just dying to get those answers. Who is his goddess of love? Then, unsurprisingly, he just tells them, "Huh? I didn't say anything," which makes his friends really, really mad. This is Lancelot, guys. What do you think he was gonna say? But that doesn't stop the other knights from trying to get some sort of answer from the guy, no matter how much he tries to dodge the answer. "Hold up, I heard you say you loved a woman." "What? No, you misheard me. You absolutely heard that right. Percival? Gawain?" Man, Tristan really wants to get that answer. With their leader coming up with an epic burn. "Your empty heads are just playing tricks on you." Oh, they're gonna find out, Lancelot. They're gonna find out that you're probably on a list. Tristan pouts for the time being because he couldn't get an answer, all while Lancelot's just walking forward as if he didn't give them a hint to begin with. But then, the Knight of Pestilence puts it all together. He's hit with a very important realization. It could be that your anger towards King Arthur has something in common with this woman you care for. Yep, Lancelot is aware that Tristan figured it out. Then, I guess in the sake of revenge, decides to kick Tristan in the chest, sending him backwards into the arms of Percival, who has every right to ask why. Why would he dare hit our dear boy Tristan in the chest? Well, it wasn't because of those stupid questions from before, but rather Lancelot did just save Tristan from being eaten alive by that giant fish from before. Tristan almost became fish food because he was so obsessed about learning who Lancelot was interested in. They were so distracted by Lancelot's love life that they didn't know about the giant flying fish coming their way. Before the flying fish could strike again, Gawain attacks with
Fireball.
launching 2 balls of fire into the air, which their flying trout was easily able to avoid. The 3 Knights of the Apocalypse think that they could take on that flying monstrosity of chaos. They decide to attack it all at once. However, their leader tells them they got bigger fish to fry. Because of their yapping and Gawain's fire, the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse soon find themselves surrounded by the masked up Knights of the Holy Grail, descending from above to surround them below. Galahad, with his katana drawn, blasts forward. His target is the fake God of War Lancelot. But before the Son of War could do any damage, a shining ball of arc intercepts. He is hit with a ball of arc. Tristan really came to Lancelot's aid, much to his annoyance. Quit with that stupid crap. But Tristan decides, there, now we're even. Again. The other Knights of the Holy Grail surround the Knights of Prophecy. Lohengrin has her sword ready and drawn to face against Percival, with Lywars flying in the air and looking at Gawain. But it's here that Lywars notices something. Gawain is carrying the Holy Grail, and makes an announcement to her teammates. Whoa, everyone, these damn villains are holding the Holy Grail. Wait, so they know about the Holy Grail. Does it still have Arthur's blood in it? And Percival has the right to be concerned about it because the Grail was just recently formed. How did they know about it? Galahad doesn't have time to answer questions because he charges in, mocking them. So, the false heroes are also thieves now. You are all truly beyond redemption. Lancelot charges in to intercept, telling Galahad, I ain't letting you say another word. You guys ready for what's coming to you? And it's here that we end chapter 240 with Galahad and Lancelot clashing against one another, with the future son telling his past father, don't even bother. If anyone could beat me, it'd be none but the true Lancelot. With the current God of War accepting those terms. Okay, so if I do beat you, does that prove that I'm the real one? And that is how we end chapter 240, with the real issue of these groups being proper communication.
Proper communication would get in the way of the story I'm trying to tell. Right, okay, keep going.
Not gonna lie, this chapter was honestly a little boring. There's a lot of setup for future events. This does also remind me just how flanderized Lancelot has become. Lancelot can be goofy at times, but other than that, personality-wise, the whole story of him just focuses on him and Guinevere. Like, there's nothing else to this guy. Doesn't help that now he's gonna have to be facing his future son with said girl. And speaking of, we got a setup for the 5 Knights of the Holy Grail versus the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse. I already did a video when we were on break a couple of weeks back about what we could expect from these fights, but I'll just summarize it here. If the 5 Knights of the Holy Grail know how their individual parents fight, this could force the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse to be a bit more creative when they go into battle. We got some epic fights between parent and child to look forward to with the coming chapters. What's gonna happen? Will we see anything new? And will they figure out the truth behind the Knights of the Holy Grail? We're gonna have to see what happens next time. If you love 7 Deadly Sins and 4 Knights of the Apocalypse material, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more content coming your way very soon. This has been Dante from the Anime Underworld, and I'll see you mortals later.